that global warming will pose a serious threat. And the most common thing you see in the media is global warming is not a future problem, it's a current problem. You saw Republicans moving that way, but with a gap. But then since between 2008 and now, they've gone in the opposite direction. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think the key thing is that we have to communicate in the best way and to show people that you can protect the environment and the economy at the same time. There is no place that is a more perfect example of that than California. I mean, think about it in California. We have passed the strictest environmental laws in the nation. This was in 2006 with AB 32 and the renewable standard to go up to 50% and all those kind of things. And everyone said that we're going to kill jobs and the economy is going to go down. We're going to lose revenues and the businesses are going to move out of the state and all of this stuff. Now move forward to now. Now we have the fastest growing economy. We are #1 in the nation. Not only #1 in the nation with a $3.1 trillion GDP, but we are the 5th largest economy in the world. In the world, only China, Japan, the United States, and Germany is bigger than California. And this is with the strictest environmental laws. So this is what people should look at. This is what the federal government should look at. And forget about the Green New Deal and all of those kind of things. Study California. We are the perfect example. Think about it that we had just since last year to this year, we had a growth rate in the green energy sector by 35%. This is the highest growth rate of jobs anywhere in the world. So this is record-breaking things, and we are #1 in the economy. We are #1 with our GDP. We are #1 with our employment, with the manufacturing jobs, and with tourism, with agriculture, with all of these things. We're #1 with the strictest environmental laws. So we are the perfect example that you can protect and bring together the 2 E's, environment and the economy, protect both at the same time.
But people will look, it's not a but people look at the United States right now and they see 80 large wildfires in 13 states. Largest one is in Oregon. In California, you've had worse and worse fires, it seems, each year. Right now you have up around Lake Tahoe, they had to evacuate, and that they believe that the wildfires are being fueled in a way that we haven't seen before, that they're larger and spreading faster. So isn't California, while you're finding some solutions, isn't it also proof of the problem?
Well, there's 13 states that have wildfires right now all over, and over 1 million acres have burned. You're absolutely correct. It is because of climate change, because our temperatures are rising and all this kind of stuff. But you can overwhelm people with this information. Talk about climate change. We got to get down again to the reality. And this is what creates that. It's pollution. So let's go and try to kill pollution. That is the key thing. And that's what we have to communicate to the people and also suggest to the people how they can become part of the movement. Because remember, government is not going to solve this problem alone. Government has never solved any of those big problems alone. I mean, if you think about the civil rights movement, if you think about the Indian independence movement, the suffrage movement, and the apartheid movement, all of those kind of things were done by people power. And they make this mistake that they go to the COP 21 and 22, 23, 24, and all these COP conferences, and they think that government is going to solve this problem. They can't solve this problem alone. This is why I say, for 40 years you've been doing this now, let's try something different. Please try something different we have done in California, which is communicate better and get everyone involved in this movement and tell people what they need to do, that they have to have a smart meter, that they should get us the next car, maybe an electric powered car or a hydrogen car or a hybrid car or something like that, or not to buy foreign goods, because every time you buy a foreign good, then you go and you put it on a ship and you have to ship it. And the 15 largest container ships in the world pollute more than all of the cars in the world. So people should know they want to be, if they want to be part of the solution, stop all of this stuff. Do the right thing. Everyone can participate and everyone can be part of this movement. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. Make the people become part of the movement and not rely totally on the government.
I'm not going to waste my opportunity having you with me. It's tough to get you on the show. You talk about trying new things. We got to talk a little bit about fitness. 50+ fitness. My new thing is that I do full body all the time now. I've been watching your workouts. What do you think of the idea of, instead of splitting up the workouts, doing full body now? I do legs pretty much every time, though. I'm big on the legs.
Well, I think that is a fantastic idea to do the whole body. I think that whatever you do, you're doing right because you look really fantastic. I mean, I have to tell you, I saw some pictures of you over this last year, and I think you're doing really great work. And I just want to add something here, which is very important. When you talk about fitness, when I became the chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness in Sports, you know who was one of the first governors that invited me? Was your father. He didn't care when you talk about politics. He didn't care that I was a Republican. He didn't care that I was campaigning for Bush. He didn't care about any of that. He invited me to come up and to meet with his healthcare experts and with his education experts. And we had a wonderful press conference after that and promoted health and fitness for our youngsters in New York State and all over the country. So that's the kind of a dad your dad was. And I will always appreciate that because then other Democratic governors invited me after that. This is how I was able to cover all 50 states in promoting health and fitness. So I just want you to know that he was a wonderful man, and I really appreciated his great work.
He was had tons of respect for your story, Governor, about where you came from and what drove you and how you used your opportunity here. As a big fan. And much later in life, he got into weightlifting. He made fun of me, for so many years about it. But I respect you and I appreciate you. No grease, never had any grease. Wasn't coconut oil. If I'm using coconut oil, it's in my coffee or it's on the pan. I'm going to hear about it. I can talk to you about the oil's going to kill
me. The little posing trunks that you're wearing sometimes.
Well,
secretly.
Listen, I do like a tight-fitting garment. I think it helps. I think it accentuates the quads, and you need that at my age because I'm dealing with attrition.
Bravo.
Governor, you are look, to me, as a fitness person, I love your example, and I appreciate you keeping us all in the game, and you are right about messaging. And the proof is we haven't gotten anywhere near where we need to be as a people, so the messaging is obviously not getting it done. Governor Schwarzenegger, people can go to the Schwarzenegger Climate Initiative. They can watch the speech that you gave about this, and you'll be talking about it a lot, and you're always welcome here. Be well.
Thank you, Chris. Bye-bye.
All right. So it's good to have him. Obviously, rare opportunity. Stuff about the oils is not true. Just telling you right now. It may look like I have it on, but it's just sweat. All right? It's a matter of fact. Let's just put that to the side.